Welcome to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. If you would like to support this channel, please hit the like button and consider subscribing if you enjoy the content. And now let's start with the first story. It's called Try to Tell Him. I'm a construction manager. I have been running jobs for this one contractor in Palm Beach for 4 years now. He has not bothered me or messed with any of my methods on any of the past 3 mansions that I have built for him. But for some reason, on this project, he decided to assert his authority. He must have been off his meds or something, as he decided to give me a hard time because I had plumbers on an empty lot getting it prepped to start building a new house from the ground up. For all of my projects, I built an outhouse with running water and a toilet. It is nice when the owner is on site with the design team and they actually have someplace nice to go pee real quick. On the outside of the outhouse, I always use a large plastic laundry room washtub sink so people can wash their hands and rinse out paintbrushes, etc. I also have a hose reel with a 100-foot hose. It is all very efficient and free, and it is a pleasure to use versus the plastic portalet that we all know smells and is absolutely disgusting with 30 to 40 workers on a job. For some reason he gets a bug and says that I shouldn't build an outhouse on this job, just call the portalet company and have them deliver tomorrow. I tried to talk some sense into him, but he didn't want to hear it and gave me an unnecessary attitude. So I said, sure, I will call and set it up. The next morning I called and ordered 2 portalets and a wash stand that has fresh water and paper towel holders, so you can at least wash your hands when you are done using the restroom. The charge for the 2 portalets and the wash stand is $1,300 per month. It will take me at least a year and a half to finish this project, and this temper tantrum will now cost him $25,000. I tried to tell him, and he wanted to be a jerk, so let's see if he figures it out when he does his end of year bookkeeping. The next story is called Follow the Order. Yesterday I got an email from a customer who wanted an in-depth analysis of dish soap sales for the past 3 years. Easy peasy, it's all automated, but time consuming to extract that much data. As I was entering the details into the software according to the job order, I see customer specified product code A190. I checked the database and oh, that's the code for scented candles. I think they meant A160, dish soap. Due to past shenanigans, we are supposed to follow job orders to the letter, and if there is a conflict, the product code trumps whatever else the customer wrote. This is spelled out very clearly in our service agreement. However, if I suspect a mistake, I will give the customer a call so they can amend the job order and avoid wasting time and money. They are usually grateful for the heads up. So I call the customer and I barely manage to say I'm from company XYZ when this lady starts berating me about how long the job is taking. First off, I got the timestamped email less than 15 minutes ago, and this kind of report usually has a turnaround of 24 to 48 hours. Second, I'm trying to help by pointing out the wrong product code. But this lady just will not let me talk. She keeps cutting me off and talking over me. When I finally manage to get 2 words in and say I wanted to confirm the product code, she tells me to stop wasting her time and just do what the job order says. Then she hangs up on me. You can probably guess how it went. I ran the request as written for product A190, candles, and sent it yesterday by end of business. Lady flipped when she saw it. Apparently, they needed this report for a meeting that now has to be rescheduled. My boss and her boss got involved. The end result is that the customer's boss just sent me a request to please run a report for dish soap A160 when convenient and apologize for the misunderstanding. My company will waive the cost of the extra report. I understand the lady was moved to a role that limits the amount of damage she can do. Already the fact that she ordered the report the literal day before the meeting was not great. Moral of the story? Before telling someone to shut up, maybe listen to what they are saying. The last story is called Just a Mic. I work as an audio-visual tech at a community college. Basically deal with sound systems, projectors, microphones, etc. I joke that anything that plugs in on campus that's not a computer, that's my gig. We get occasional requests for sound systems in bigger classrooms and common areas. Not hard setups at all. Someone wants to make a presentation and they want to be heard clearly. So we'll set up a microphone on a floor stand, usually above a podium or desk, and run cables to the actual sound system. It is usually an all-in-one unit that has the amp, equalizer and speaker all together. Set up on a tripod in the corner of a room, it can easily be loud enough for a room of 100 people or so. Anything bigger and we adjust by adding a second speaker or giving them a beefier system with separate components on a card. Even for bigger sound systems, they still don't really take up that much space in an area if you know what you are doing. This happened years ago. I got a request from a communication arts instructor, a speech class. She wanted her classes to experience what it would be like to speak in front of a larger audience. So she requested a microphone for a larger classroom that we had, an older, simple lecture hall that held about 140 people. She was having a few different classes all show up at the same time and place, so the room would be packed. I called and talked with Speech Lady about the specifics of her request, letting her know what the setup involved. This isn't that big a deal, I just need a microphone. One microphone, she said, a little snotty. I started to explain that for a room that size, with possibly over 100 people attending, she might want to make sure they are heard and go with a bigger system. Oh, we don't need all that other stuff, just a microphone. One microphone. That's it, nothing more. I was getting instructions for my job from someone who actually taught how to give a speech. I hesitated one last time, starting to tell her that for a sound system to work, you actually need things like speakers and cables and nothing else, just a microphone. The day of the event arrives. I walk into the room, weaving in and out of students to get to the instructor, who was standing at a desk at the front of the class. I walked up, smiling. "Are you Mrs. Speech Lady?" "Oh, yes. Do you have our mic?" she said in an excited voice, ready to excite her students with sound. I held out a handheld microphone to her. "Here you go." She took the microphone a bit gingerly, then I turned and started to make my way out. But I looked behind me and saw a Speech Lady, a person with a doctorate mind you, looking at the microphone like it was some weird alien device. She started tapping on it, speaking into it, looking at the sides and bottom, then slapping it with her hand, blowing onto it and finally yelling into it. I could tell a few of the students knew what sound systems were. They are not that hard. When I saw some giggles from the seats at the confused teacher's reaction, I turned back around as I was about to leave the room to see her waving me back over. Still a lot of students filling in. I go back over. "How do you work this? I don't see any switches or anything, and don't hear my voice getting louder." She actually said this all trying to speak into the microphone, as if the sound would magically be amplified in mid-air. I smirked. "Oh, you want to make you louder? Well, for that you're going to need..." I actually did air quotes. "All that other stuff." She still looked confused, but I could tell the light was starting to creep into her brain. I turned and again started on my way out. What she called out. "Wait, I guess I need..." Great. I could have been a prick and just walked out from there, but the students didn't deserve any bad because of their stupid teacher. I had brought one of our portable sound systems with me to the lecture hall, but kept it outside the room. I walked back in and set it up in about 3 minutes, placing the unit on a tripod, the mic on a boom stand and an XLR cable connecting the mic to the system. I gave it the briefest of sound checks by simply saying, "loud noises," and turned to go for good this time. During the quick setup, Speech Lady was apologizing to me until she was blue in the face, but then she gained her composure quickly after my sound check. She turned out to be cool, writing me an email apology of sorts and thanking me for my help after her supersized class. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories in today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what I do and want to support me, please subscribe and hit the like button. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.